Kona Cat and I love manatees. And just so happens today, the game I'm going to show you how to set up and play is called I Love Manatees. This is a 2 to 4 player game where you play as conservation experts creating habitats for manatees. The happiest and healthiest manatees will score you the most points. It's for ages 10 and up, runs about 30 to 45 minutes. The publisher of this game is called Buffalo Games and Puzzles. They were fantastic to work with. I was missing a starting tile piece. Their customer service on their website, super easy to get it replaced, and it's on its way now. So let me show you how to set up and play I Love Manatees. This is everything that comes in the box with the I Love Manatees game. First off, we have our starting tiles. There are 4 available. We have 24 photo cards. We have a shark sabotage die. We have 1 bull shark. We have 30 adorable little manatees out here. We have our ocean board, and we have 90 habitat tiles. First thing we're going to do for setup is place the ocean board in the middle of all the players. Next, we are going to take 12 habitat tiles and place them face up on the spaces on the ocean board here. And we will place the remaining tiles all face down near the board to form a draw pile. I use 3 piles here because otherwise there are almost 90 tiles to make a stack and it can be a little messy. So I just put it in 3 piles here, and you can draw as you please. Decide how you want to make your face down draw pile for the tiles however you would like. We are then going to give each player a starting tile. A starting tile looks like this. We're going to place that in front of each player and give each player 1 manatee to place on their starting tile in any position they would like. Next, we are going to select 6 manatees per player and place them in a pool off to the side of the game board, and all the remaining manatees will go back to the box. So let's get 12 out here. For a 2-player game, all of these guys will leave the game completely, and we have our pool of manatees for a 2-player game right there. Next, we're going to shuffle our photo cards and place 4 in these spots up here on the ocean board. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll place the rest of our photo cards face down near the board. Our bull shark here will go on this icon on the board, like so. We'll then roll our sabotage die, place that on the corresponding icon on this space here. We'll choose our first player by the player who most recently had a swim in the ocean. They will go first, and then we are ready to play. Players will take turns moving clockwise around the table until the game ends. On your turn, you will do the following in order. First, you will pick a tile from the ocean board. You'll add the tile to your habitat, and you'll take the action of the column that you took it from. Let's start with our first action on our turn, which is pick a tile. You can take any bottom tile from any of the 4 columns on the ocean boards. We will not replace any tiles we pick up with a new tile unless the column is completely empty. When the column is empty, we'll draw 3 new tiles and place them in the spaces. On my turn, I could pick up this tile here. As the game progresses, the board will look a little more like this, where this tile is the bottommost tile, this tile is the bottommost tile. So a player would have the option to take this tile, this tile, this tile, or this tile. And if on your turn, you take the last tile from a column, then you will replace this with new tiles from the draw pile. Our second action after choosing a tile is to add the new tile to our habitat. When you add the tile to your habitat, there are a few conditions. You need to place it edge to edge with at least 1 other tile. The touching edges of the tiles must match, having the same icon or no icon at all. And if you cannot place the tile, you'll place it in a discard pile and your turn is over. If your newly placed tile is touching more than 1 tile, then all touching edges must match. So for example, if I chose this tile here, there are these 2 half circle icons and this purple wave. On my new habitat, I would have to match with the edge that has nothing on it to a side that has nothing on it here. I cannot place this tile like this with this half circle with nothing. I cannot place this tile with this icon against the nothing. I have to only place this like so. Now let's say I have a few tiles placed out here and I take this tile from the board. I would need to match the nothing side and the circle side. So I could place this tile here like so. I also would have the option to place this tile against the purple here. I could also place this tile up here. I could also place this tile like so. And I could keep going down like so here. Now when icons on the edges match, then you complete an icon. There are 6 types of icons to complete on tiles. These circle ones are food. Round seagrass icons keep your manatees fed. Surround each of your manatees with as many food icons as possible by the end of the game for points. Now if you were to complete the coral, fish, or diving icons on your turn, diamond attraction icons represent great photo opportunities during the game. You complete these for specific photo cards and when using the shark sabotage for extra points. Now, if you were to complete the rescue or the swim icons, these are square enhancement icons that represent upgrades for your habitat. Rescue icons with this pink manatee icon will bring more manatees into your habitat, and swim icons will allow multiple manatees to swim at the same time. Now, our third action on our turn is the take ocean action. The take ocean action is associated with the column that you took the tile from. The icon on top of the column indicates what the action is. If you were to take a tile and place it from this column here, you can rescue and add a manatee to your habitat. Here, you can swim and move a manatee in your habitat. Here, you can score points for taking great photos of your habitat from the photo cards above. And this column here will allow you to shark sabotage. Now let's go over the rescue ocean action. You'll add a manatee to your habitat. You will take 1 manatee from the pool, place it in an empty space on your starting tile. And your starting tile holds a maximum of 4 manatees. Now, if on your turn, if I took the tile from the rescue column here, I would be able to rescue my 1 manatee and place it in my starting tile. If I also completed a rescue icon, I can add 1 more manatee to my starting tile. Now, if on my turn, I were to take a tile from the swim column here, I get to move a manatee in my habitat. I can select 1 manatee to move to another tile. Only condition is that I cannot move a manatee to or through a tile that contains a bull shark or another manatee. Each tile can only hold 1 manatee except for the starting tile, which holds 4. Manatees can move up and down, left and right, as many spaces as you want, but they cannot move diagonally. If you complete a swim icon, you can move an additional manatee. So on this turn, I can move 1 manatee to there, and because I completed this as well, as taking from this column, I can move a second manatee as well. And I can move him down and to the right, like so. Now, if you were to take a tile from the photo card column here, you'll score points for taking great photos of your habitat. After drawing a tile from this column, you may pick one of the 4 face-up cards if you have satisfied its requirements. Each card shows a requirement that you need in order to collect that card. Green cards will score points immediately. Orange cards will score based on your habitat at the end of the game. In order to take this photo card, I would need a completed diver icon in my habitat already out here. To take the schools of fish card, I would need at least 1 completed fish icon in my habitat. In order for me to take this favorite reef card, I would need a completed reef icon in my habitat and a manatee on the left square of that completed icon. In order to collect a card like this seagrass buffet, you would need 3 food icons completed in these positions with a manatee in the middle like so. If you meet the requirements for taking a photo card, you will take that card, place it in your score pile, and replace that card you took with the topmost card from the photo card deck. If a player were to take a tile from the shark sabotage column, the shark sabotage action has 2 parts. First, that player will move the bull shark from its current location, whether it's on the board or another player's habitat, And they'll move that to an empty tile in any other player's habitat except the starting tile. So they could take this bull shark and place it on this space here. Now the second part is they'll perform the action from the shark sabotage die. If the shark sabotage die were on this icon here, that player can relocate a manatee, which means you'll steal one manatee from the player's habitat you place the shark in. You may only take the manatee from their starting tile and place it on your starting tile. The coral, fish, and diver bonus: if your habitat has at least one of the completed icons shown on the die, you'll take an additional tile closest to the beach as if you were taking another turn. But you do not take the ocean action associated with the tile you just took. If I were to take a tile from this column here and place it in my habitat, I would get to move this bull shark to another player's habitat. And if I had a completed diver icon on my turn, I could take an additional tile from anywhere closest to the beach. So I could take this tile here, place it here, and that's my bonus. After taking the bonus tile, I would re-roll the sabotage die, place the corresponding roll onto that icon on the board. Now, the end of game is triggered when one of the following occurs during the gameplay. The last manatee is removed from the pool, or when a player takes their 5th photo card. Each player, including the player who triggered the game end, takes one final turn. So the player who triggered the end of the game is always the player who takes the final turn. If the game ended due to a player taking their 5th photo card, they may take a 6th photo card on their final turn, if they're able to meet the requirements to take that card. After the last player takes their turn, each player will score their habitat based on the following. Happy manatees love to eat. So each manatee in your habitat is worth 1 point for each complete food icon it shares a tile with. This manatee here would score us 2 points, 1 for this completed food icon and 1 for this completed food icon. This manatee would also score us 2 points, 1 for this completed food icon and 1 for this completed food icon. And this manatee down here would score us 1 point for this completed food icon there. You'll also add up all your points from the photo cards you've collected, and the player with the most points wins. In case of a tie, the tied player with the most manatees in their habitat wins. And if still tied, you will share the victory. And that's everything I can show you on how to set up and play I Love Manatees. And I'll see you next time for the next game. Bye.